In this segment, we'll be exploring CVE 2024-20017, providing a comprehensive analysis of the vulnerability. We'll focus on its characteristics, how it manifests within the system, and the potential risks associated with it. The aim is to give you a solid understanding of this specific vulnerability, equipping you with the knowledge to address it effectively in your security practices. This slide provides an overview of the identified vulnerability, CVE 2024-20017, which we're analyzing. The vulnerability is an out-of-bounds write within the wlan service. It's been classified with a critical severity level, scoring a 9.8 on the CVSS scale, which highlights its potential for significant impact. A successful exploit of this vulnerability can lead to remote code execution, and notably, it requires no user interaction, increasing the risk as it can be executed without any direct user involvement. Understanding these details is key to assessing the risk and prioritizing the mitigation strategies effectively. This slide outlines who is impacted by the CVE 2024-20017 vulnerability. Affected are certain chipsets, specifically the MediaTek MT7622, MT7915, MT7916, MT7981, and MT7986. This vulnerability primarily affects routers and smartphones from manufacturers such as Ubiquiti, Xiaomi, and Netgear. The vulnerable software development kits, or SDKs, are those from MediaTek versions 7.4.1 and earlier. Identifying whether your devices are using these chipsets or SDKs will help determine exposure to this serious security issue. It's important for users and administrators to be aware and prepared to take action to mitigate any potential risks. To address the vulnerability impacting certain MediaTek chipsets in routers and smartphones from brands like Ubiquiti, Xiaomi, and Netgear, it's essential to implement a fix using patch ID WCNCR through 50938. The primary recommendation is to apply the latest firmware updates provided by MediaTek and the respective OEMs. This ensures that your network devices remain secure against potential threats. Additionally, it's advisable to practice routine updates and patches for all network devices to maintain robust security and minimize vulnerabilities. This slide focuses on the exploitation details of a specific vulnerability. The method used involves a buffer overflow by manipulating the input length within the IAPP system. A public proof of concept for this exploit is available, indicating that the technique is known and can be recreated by others. The exploitation technique involves overwriting the global address table using a return-oriented programming, OP chain. This approach allows the attacker to control the flow of execution in a very targeted way, leveraging the system's own components against it. As such, understanding and mitigating this type of vulnerability is crucial in preventing potential security breaches. In this slide, we're focusing on an exploit example that leverages a reverse shell. This particular exploit utilizes system commands and netcat, NC, an essential tool for network communication. The example command provided demonstrates how you can initiate a reverse shell. By echoing the payload to a target IP on a specified port, and simultaneously using NC to execute a shell command on the attacker IP, an attacker successfully gains remote access to the system. This technique showcases the potential manipulation of a target system to gain unauthorized control, highlighting the importance of understanding such exploits for defensive security measures. On this slide, we explore a real-world scenario where a widespread vulnerability impacts Wi-Fi chipsets found in commercial routers and smartphones. This case study highlights a zero-click attack, which is particularly concerning as it allows attackers to compromise routers without any user interaction, leading to complete system takeover. The immediate need for action is underscored by the suggested mitigation strategy, deploying firmware updates promptly to prevent exploitation of these vulnerabilities. This example underscores the importance of keeping devices up to date to secure against similar threats. In this slide, we're focusing on best practices for preventing security vulnerabilities and exploits, particularly in the context of Wi-Fi chipsets used in routers and smartphones. It is essential to enable security features like ASLR, address space layout randomization, DEEP, data execution prevention, and stack canaries, which are essential in making systems more resistant to attacks. Regular software audits are another cornerstone of robust security practices. These audits help to identify any unpatched vulnerabilities that could become potential entry points for attackers. Lastly, the deployment of intrusion detection systems is highly recommended. These systems are designed to monitor network traffic for any unusual or suspicious activity, providing an extra layer of security by detecting and potentially responding to threats in real time. Implementing these strategies can significantly enhance the defense against sophisticated attacks on your network infrastructure. For those looking to expand their knowledge on this topic, I've included some valuable references and resources for further reading. Firstly, you can consult the NVD CVE 2024-20017, which offers detailed insights into specific security vulnerabilities and their potential impacts. Additionally, the MediaTek Security Bulletin can provide up-to-date information on recent security findings and recommendations from MediaTek, a key player in the tech industry. Lastly, diving into exploitation techniques insight will help you understand the evolving methodologies used in security breaches, thereby enhancing your awareness and prevention strategies. These resources will deepen your understanding beyond the foundational practices we've discussed, equipping you with more specialized knowledge in this field.